Hello and welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be talking about our new subject, which is field methods. And within this course, we will mostly be tackling about qualitative research and mixed methods research in psychology. Before we were focused on conducting experimental research, and most of our research are all quantitative in nature. Although we did talk about some of the qualitative research, and those were tackled here. You can watch it again para ma-remember niyo yung mga iba't ibang design. Okay, now let us discuss the scientific research in psychology. How do we usually conduct a scientific research? There are actually 6 steps in the process of research. So first, we must begin a research study by identifying a topic, typically an issue or problem in psychology that needs to be solved. Kaya sa una pala ng research nyo, you must convince your readers why it was necessary to conduct your study. And also, you must be specific kung ano yung problem na gusto nyong itackle. So for example, Pedro saw a problem in school in which nakikita niya na madami sa mga classmates niya ang mga heavy smokers. Therefore, Pedro wanted to study whether smoking may lead to poor performance in school. After identifying the problem, he must justify the importance to conduct this research and identify how his study will provide new insight into the problem. Okay, so next step is reviewing the literature. It is important to know who has studied the research problem you plan to examine, since you must make sure that your study is not a replication of a prior research. Reviewing the literature means locating articles, books, journals, etc. on your topic and then selectively choosing which literature to include in your study. And then lastly, you must summarize all of your gathered literature and you must also make sure that all of your variables are based on RLs and RS. Therefore, si Pedro, he must first gather all the information he may acquire sa topic niya. It could be sa internet or sa library or even through interview. And of course, hindi dapat minamadali ang review of related literature at hindi siya copy-paste lamang. All your gathered literature should have proper citation. And you must remember to paraphrase kung ano man ang nakuha niyong information sa internet or sa mga books. So next step, you must specify kung ano ba talaga ang purpose ng study natin. Para saan ba ang research nito? Bukod sa requirement siya sa school. Si Pedro, kaya niya because if he will find out na may negative effect ang smoking, he aims to search for an intervention para ma-lessen ang paggamit ng cigarettes ng mga students. So next step is collecting data. Kukuha tayo ng mga evidences to provide answers for our research question. When collecting data, we must make sure that our participants are willing to be a part of our study. And I'm pretty sure that you are all aware about informed consent. If you have a quantitative research, then your data should be in the form of test scores, frequency of behaviors, or results from survey forms. In a qualitative research naman, our data should be in the form of our participants' responses in our questions, their opinions, or quotes. For our fifth step, we must analyze and interpret our data. During or immediately after our data collection, we need to make sense of the information we have gathered from our participants. Dito papasok ang statistics if quantitative ang study nyo, and then discussing kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng nakuha nyong result. And then pag qualitative naman, you will gather all your participants' responses and see if may pattern ba ang kanilang mga sagot. And then lastly is reporting and evaluating research. It involves knowing what format is acceptable to our readers and then writing the report in a manner that is sensitive to all of our readers. Kaya kailangan dumaan ng paper natin sa iba't ibang editors and panelists to make sure that our research is properly evaluated. So ano naman ang importance ng research and why do we need it? So first, research adds to our knowledge, which means that our research can contribute to our existing information. Therefore, your research might provide a study that has not been conducted and thereby fill a void in our existing knowledge. Your research can also provide additional results to confirm or disconfirm the results of prior studies. Okay, so next, research is also important because it suggests improvements for practice. For example, yung study about sa Hawthorne effect. As you can see, a lot of companies have installed numerous CCTVs sa workplace nila because through that research, companies now know that this improves the performance of their employees. Now you see, class, na madaming natutulong ang pag-research. Kaya always go beyond sa reason na gagawin ko lang to para graduate. And also, class, scientific research is also often classified as being either basic or applied. Basic research in psychology is conducted primarily for the sake of achieving a more detailed and accurate understanding of human behavior, without necessarily trying to address any particular practical problem. Ibig sabihin, you are researching not because may problem kang nakita, but you do it for the sake of gaining new knowledge and accurate information. And when we say applied research, it is conducted primarily to address some practical problems that we face. So ito naman yung mga ginagawang research in order to find solutions para sa mga problems and para we have a basis for the best solution. So that would be the end of our lesson. I hope you have learned something today. So goodbye and God bless everyone.